All right, what's going on, patrons? Brandon Schaefer here. This is the Q&A for June 2018. Looks like I only got one question, so it's going to be a personal one. This is from Lisa Roberts Art. Thanks for the question, Lisa. Appreciate you following my work and hope everything's going well. Let's get into the question. When it comes to selling art, is it more important to have a large YouTube following or a large Facebook following or Instagram following? I don't know where to put my focus, and does a large following typically lead to more sales? I want to eventually be able to make a living from art, but I don't really know where to start. Thank you. Very, very great question. So hopefully more people watch, get on this Patreon that are subscribed and watch this video, because I'm going to try to make this a good one, but it's a very tough topic. And just for a disclaimer, I'm not making a living from my artwork just yet. It's something that I'm figuring out myself. But I've read a lot about doing this, many different books. There's a ton of different books out there for different, routes to travel, going to galleries, doing that, making a living on your own, doing that, doing shows like at conventions and art shows and all kinds of stuff. So there's many different routes to take. Selling online, there's a whole book for how to sell your work online and through social media and all this stuff. So let's break this question down. There's a few questions within this main question. So is it more important to have a YouTube following, Facebook following, or Instagram following? Don't know where to put my focus. Okay, let's cover that first real quick. From what I've found, YouTube is my largest following. So I'm gonna just give you my experience. My largest following is on YouTube, and my second largest is Facebook, and then my third largest is Instagram. Now, I've been doing YouTube the longest, maybe. I think Facebook and YouTube were kind of around the same time, but definitely more consistent on YouTube, I would say. And with YouTube, it's just different. It's a whole search engine. With Facebook, people aren't really searching on Facebook. You don't really come up in searches and things like that. So it's more difficult for people to discover your kind of page on Facebook. They kind of find your Facebook page from your website or something like your YouTube channel, and they want to follow you on Facebook. YouTube kind of, excuse me, I think YouTube is more, it's probably easier to gain a following because people can search like, art videos, painting videos, whatever. And then if you don't even have to pop up in the search, they could view a different video and then you pop up in the suggested videos on the side. So that's the thing about that. I think it's easier on YouTube. I'm not saying YouTube's better or anything. Instagram is definitely a great one because it's obviously catered to like photographers and artists and stuff, very photo-centric. One place to not sleep on is Pinterest. Pinterest is really great. Probably maybe almost better than Instagram. I wouldn't say one's better than the other. They're just different. They're different platforms. But definitely check out Pinterest, start posting on there, and start pinning stuff that you like to boards and make categories. Do that, it's very important. I'm gonna go with a whole other video on my YouTube about that and how it can just help you determine what you like and how to create paintings in the future and have series of paintings and what color schemes you like. This is stuff that I didn't really know. I just found out recently, and maybe you don't know it about yourself either. And the more stuff you pin, people are going to follow your pins, and then you can make a board for your own artwork, and it can get shared that way. You never know who's going to pick it up, share it, and you can get thousands of views and stuff, and have it linked to a website or one of your social media. So then when they click the link to your artwork goes to there. Tie it all together. Basically, do whatever social media you can and be consistent as possible. That's really the most important thing with social media, is consistency. Like if you're gonna do YouTube, pick a frequency. You're gonna put a video once a week, once a month, 2 times a week, you know, Wednesday and Saturday. I did that for a while, and then it got too much. And then instead of me just bringing it down to 1 video a week, I quit altogether for a few months and then came back, you know, and you lose the momentum when you do stuff like that. So definitely stay consistent as possible with whatever you do. If you're going on Facebook, do it once a week. Really what kind of the experts say for social media is like you should be posting every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And for artists, man, that's tough because, you know, you have to create a lot of artwork to do that. But so I don't, you know, if you can have something to post every other day or almost every day or once a week at least, post it on the same day, you know, every Saturday, every Wednesday, whatever it is, pick that, stick to it. People will recognize it, or, you know, just be consistent. That's the most important thing. That's how you gain followers. And the next question, does a large following typically lead to more sales? I mean, obviously having a larger following is gonna be better. You know, on Instagram, I have like 2,000 followers. Obviously having 50,000 is gonna be better. I'm gonna have more chances, more opportunity. People, you know, when I post an artwork, obviously 50,000 people aren't gonna see it, only a small portion of that, but still a larger portion will see it than if I had 2,000 subscribers or whatever, followers. And it has the potential for more sales, but it doesn't necessarily lead to more sales. On my YouTube, I have over 250,000 subscribers, and it doesn't lead to more sales. I have gotten sales through my YouTube channel, and I've gotten some loyal followers, but really it comes down to having those loyal followers. Those are the ones that, you know, having that base of like 1,000 or 100 or however many people that are true loyal followers. And Lisa, I would call you a loyal follower of me. I've seen you for years following me, and we've always interacted and stuff, sent messages back and forth and things like that. And even though you haven't purchased anything from me, you do support me on Patreon. So I definitely appreciate that. And I'm always, you know, I'm open to supporting you in the future, and always supporting you in any way I can. You know, even if it's just through these videos and messages and stuff, and giving you feedback on your art or whatever it is. You know, that's the important thing for social media, is just having, you don't need 50,000 followers. You just need 1,000 people that are loyal to you, that are going to support things you do, buy some of your artwork, or share some of your artwork and support you in that way, and help spread the message of your artwork. So that's really kind of social media and how to break that down and how it matters. So just be consistent with it, and try to, you know, be yourself, be true to yourself, be personal, and gain that loyal following of just, you know, start out, you only get 1 fan, you know, turn that fan into 2 fans, and then 2 into 4, and just keep building it that way very slowly. I mean, when I started out, there was nobody watching my YouTube videos. You know, I was happy when I was getting 100 views each video. I was like, man, 100 views, now I'm getting 300 views, this is crazy. And now some of my videos have over 3 million views, and every week my videos get like 2,000 to 3,000 views, sometimes only 1,500. It just depends. But I'm always looking to try to grow that, because it's always better to be bigger, I mean, for the most part. So yeah, social media is a great way, but to make a living from your art, I mean, it's a huge, long discussion. This video could go on for hours and hours, so I'll try to just give you a few things that I know. But definitely, I think, here's what I'm doing. So I'm trying to have like a roadmap of the next few years, you know, maybe the next 5 years, because I think you have a job, right? Lisa, I think you have a day job. I don't want to tell everybody what it is, but I know that you have a day job, whether it's part-time or full-time, whatever. You know, spend as much time as you can on your art and pushing that, and just build up a roadmap. You know, the next 5 years, this is what I want to accomplish this year, this is what I want to accomplish next year and the year after, and maybe by the 5th year, maybe I'll be here. And something I'm doing right now is a 12-week experiment. So I'm taking my yearly goals. So for this whole year, what do I want to accomplish? And I'm trying to do it all in 12 weeks. And then I plan out each week, and then boom, try to do it for 12 weeks, see how much I can get done, and then use the 13th week after that, evaluate how I did, and plan the next 12 weeks. Boom, do, you know, set more goals, do those goals, and you know, just try to be consistent with, you know, really consistency is the key to everything. But getting into galleries, you know, there's so many different roadmaps to take. Put stuff up online for sale, whether it's through your social media platforms or if you have a website. You know, I use Squarespace. I used to use WordPress, but now I use Squarespace. It's so much easier to use, and they have like a shop function. I've sold a few paintings through that on Squarespace. It's definitely a great platform to use. So if you can afford that, it's like, you know, 100 and something bucks a year, you know, for the domain and for the hosting and everything. It ends up being like 100 something bucks per year. But if, you know, if you're able to sell artwork, it's going to pay for itself, and it's going to be useful to you. It's going to be an asset to you. So yeah, have stuff available online, and then use social media to promote that message. Hey, I have some things here on my website for sale, check it out. Right now I'm experimenting with like Facebook ads. Eventually, I think I'm gonna try here soon, like Instagram ads. You know, just a little bit each month, whatever you can do. If you can only do 10 bucks a month for advertising, start doing it, because now is the time. These ads on social media are only gonna be relevant for like the next year or two before people start ignoring them all the time. And everybody's already starting to ignore them. You know, and eventually they'll probably come up with something else in the future. You know, it's always changing in the ad space and everything. It's always changing. So you kind of have to stick on top of it with social media and kind of ride the wave, so to speak. So yeah, you know, social media ads to promote the art you're selling. And it's taken a few months. I've been doing it for 1 to 2 months consistently, and I've gotten, you know, maybe 1 or 2 sales from it, and it takes a long time. So I'm just going to keep doing it this year, keep spending money on the ads and seeing how it works out. At least getting more people around the US to see, you know, most people have to see ads, you know, 5 to 7 times before they really figure out, you know, maybe save up some money or decide if they really want to purchase something. You know, so definitely do that, and then try to do shows like around your area, get known locally. Try to do gallery showings, convention showings. You know, I'm thinking about doing in the holidays during Christmas time, right before Christmas, there's a big, and I think in the Sacramento Convention Center, there's a big holiday kind of art show. One year I want to do that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this year, but I'm definitely planning on doing it eventually, and just seeing how it goes, having some art to sell. So just things like that. I mean, it's going on Amazon, getting a few books of how to sell your art in different ways. You know, find the best ones out there you can. If you can find them on free online PDF, you know, that's really the best way to go about it, and just learn as much as you can. When it comes to making a living from art, it's almost like just do whatever you can. You know, with my YouTube, I make a little bit of money every month, and that helps just support me buying materials, keep buying materials and advertising and just stuff like that, just trying to keep me going, and it's a little bit of income. So it is useful for me, but my main thing is now I'm trying to drive more sales from my art. And this year I've made more money from my art than I've ever have. I think I've almost made over $1,000 from painting sales, which isn't a lot at all, but hey, it's a start. It's somewhere, you know, it's more than I've ever have. And I'm figuring everything out, you know, figuring out the framing, how to buy the frames, where to buy them, how to ship things. And, you know, it's all a whole process. I mean, it takes a lot of time, but it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it, especially if it's something that you want to do. So yeah, anyway, I didn't want to make a super long video. I hope this helps you out in some way. You know, it's just a long road, and there's many different paths to take, and I would just try everything. Do as much as you can of everything. try to get into galleries if you can, if you want to take that route. If you don't want to do galleries, don't do galleries, you know. Push heavy online if you want to do it that route, and just do it as consistently as possible, daily if you can, weekly, monthly, whatever the frequency is. Try to be consistent as possible. It's something I'm still working on, and I'm trying to get back into that with my Patreon. You probably noticed that I've been being more consistent, at least posting once a week on my Patreon, trying to just get more people to view this stuff and sharing exclusive things, and that's just my Patreon, but trying to focus on everything else as well, along with creating the art and doing everything you got to do. So yeah, I mean, just do everything that you can and learn everything you can. Just watch videos online, read books about selling art, see what other artists, you know, look at other artists that are successful and look at what they're doing, look at their lives. How did they do it? Is there anything you can take from what they did and apply it to your life? You know, some of the really famous artists nowadays, it's kind of hard to follow them because they got famous from one art painting competition, you know, art contest, and then boom, now they're nationally known or internationally known, and everybody's buying their work, and they don't even have to worry about it anymore. And that's not, obviously, yeah, you can try and do that, try and do these contests, monthly contests, but most likely it's not going to happen. You know, that's kind of a luck of the draw type of thing, and you have to have a certain style, and people, it's just luck of the draw. So there's stuff like that where it's like, yeah, that's probably not going to happen, but maybe it's worth a shot. Maybe it's worth trying for a year, doing these monthly art contests and seeing if anything comes about. But, you know, maybe if that's not your thing, focus on something else. Basically, what you focus on and what you put your energy into, most likely after a while, it'll either grow and become successful, or you'll realize that it's a time waster and you should try something else. So anyway, thank you for the question. I was hoping other people would post more questions for this month, but it didn't happen. So anyway, stay tuned for next month's Q&A. That's the Q&A for this month, June. And thank you for watching. Thank you guys for all the support here on Patreon. Very much appreciated. And take care of yourself. Peace.